Hello everyone, welcome back again to Research Method class. So today from Group 10 we are going to present our presentation about overview of research in literature. From Group 10, the members are Anna, Vina, and Aldo. Okay, let's move to the first part from this topic. So what is literary research? The literary research paper is a compilation of substantive research of different previously published scholarly works pertaining to the given topic, which involves methodological and theoretical contributions to a specific chosen topic. In other words, it represents ideas by different scholars that are gathered and molded into a single paper. The purpose of writing a literary research paper is to break down and analyze some aspect of a literature piece. Okay, next, we're going to talk about literary genres and subgenres. There are no reasons to confuse about what to write in conducting research in literature because there are a lot of field areas such as first, drama, second, fiction, the third one, non-fiction, and the last one is poetry. The first one, drama, a play for theater told by character dialogue or talking, such as comedy and tragedy. The second one is fiction, a story that did not actually happen in real life, such as fantasy, folklore, historical, mystery, realistic fiction, romance, science fiction, and thriller. The third one is non-fiction, writing that is real and factual or actually happened, such as biography, autobiography, narrative, periodicals, and reference. The last one is poetry, writing using language and sounds in special ways to express ideas, such as lyric, narrative, and dramatic.
Next, why we conduct literary research. So there are two reasons on why we need to conduct literary research. The first reason is philosophical reason. So according to Yuval Noah Harari in his book entitled Sapiens: A Brief History of Humankind, there are three major of revolution in which human history has been shaped, namely cognitive revolution 70,000 years ago, agricultural revolution 10,000 years ago, and scientific revolution 500 years ago. These revolutions have empowered humans to do something no other form of life has done, which is to create and connect around ideas that do not physically exist, like think, religion, capitalism, and politics. From all of the above, these shared myths, or in other words called stories. There is this one quote by Miguel Ruiz that can support these ideas, which said, "It is our nature to make up stories, to interpret everything we perceive. Without awareness, we give our personal power to the story and the story writes itself. With awareness, we recover the control of our story." And then the last one is stories are a universal device utilized across cultural to share value. And then the second reason is pragmatic reason. There are 3 points here. The first one is structure, which consists of story grammar or plot, point of view, characterization, and many more. In story grammar or plot, as you can see on the picture, here are the plot diagram which contains of exposition, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution. For the point of view, it refers to who is telling or narrating the story or how the writer wants to convey the story to the readers. It can be the first person, second person, or third person. And then the characterization, in which as a writer's tool that is used step by step in literature to highlight and explain the details about the characters in story. And then the second point is content. There are themes or the idea, issues, character development, and many more. And then the last point is language, which consists of linguistic features, speech acts, semantics, and so on.
How to conduct a literary research? The first thing is research paper introduction. Launch the topic of your research paper, analyze and evaluate literature resources, state your working hypothesis or research questions, provide literature review, and the last one is inform the reader about what to expect next and let them decide whether or not to continue reading. The tip is, the introduction has to be so captivating that putting down your paper isn't even an option. The second thing is writing the body paragraphs. Argue, describe, and explain upon the chosen topic. Each body paragraph should convey the main point in a proper format. Start with the most crucial information. Use your outline so not to drift away from the topic. Clearly explain the idea and contain concisely elaborated points to support each of the paragraphs. Provide the evidence to prove the claims made in thesis statement. And the last one is linking back to the thesis.
Okay, now we are in the third part, which is conclusion writing. This is the final paragraph of your paper, so you should start it by restating your thesis and then summarize the major points and ideas in the body paragraphs. And the last one is you should explain the purpose of the topic.
Alright, so now I'm going to explain the example on how to conduct a literary research. Here, I'm taking the example from the story called The Necklace by Guy de Maupassant. So there are 4 scoops here. The first one is summary. In summary, we can discuss about the plot overview, which is the brief description of a piece of literature that explains what happens. And then literary genre. In this story, the genre is realism because the writer represents reality with as much accuracy as possible. And the last one is the ending, which in this story, the surprise ending conveyed the horrible irony. And then the second scope is characters, which consists of the character list. In this story, the characters are Mathilde Loisel, Monsieur Loisel, and Madame Forestier. Next, the analysis of major characters. It refers to the characterization. As for the example in this story, we can see that Mathilde Loisel being the protagonist of this story. But not only about that, the analysis of the major characters can also in the form of physical appearance and personality. The third scope is main ideas. The first one is theme. In the story, the theme of the story is the deceptiveness of appearances. And then we have symbol, which is something that represents the something else. And in this story, the symbol is the necklace. And then the last one is motives, which is the recurring situation or action. And in the story, the motive is coveting. And then the last scope is moral value. In this part, we can simply take moral value by quoting or finding the important quotes that explained the story.
Okay, now let's talk about literary research paper outline. This is a format that we can use while writing research papers because it lets us organize our thoughts and ideas efficiently. It also makes our papers easy to follow and ensures that none of the main points is left out during the writing process. In simple terms, the research paper outline enables us to present our ideas, thoughts, points, and arguments in an organized manner, and then draw inspiration from it while writing. Okay, so these are some literary research paper outline example. First, create the thesis statement. Inform the reader of the overall reason for your research paper. It is a controversial statement of points in your paper. And then next, the structure of the research paper. Include introduction or the topic of what to expect or read about, and then body, main points of the arguments or ideas, and last part is conclusion or the elaboration and clarification of points included in the body. Okay, so there are some literary research tips that can we use if we want to push our paper success and implemented it correctly. So the first tips is citing sources in the argument. Sources of your paper are to be written. For example, include the quotations the article contains as they are the original source. This is just a way of acknowledging the actual owner of the quotes used. And then the second tips is proofread format, ensuring the proper formatting that includes the title, length, reference, and bibliography. It is very important to follow the style recommended by the professors or the lecturers. And then the third tips is the title of the page should be included even if the reader decides not to proceed with reading the article. It gives them an idea of the argument of the research paper. And then the fourth tips, professor requests followed. Name, class, and any other information stated by the professor should be included. And the last tips is proofreading. Have other people check your paper for any spelling or grammatical errors before finally submitting it to your professor. You can ask your senior or maybe your sister, your older sister, or your favorite um, favorite teacher to check it before you submit your literary research. And you can also uh, check uh, check it in online, for example use Turnitin and so on. Yay, now we are in the last page of today's presentation material. Hope all of you can understand well the material that we discuss in this video. That's all from our group. Thank you. Stay healthy and stay safe, everyone. Bye bye.